the pieces to site. So if it was meters, 12 meters, of course you'd use the same logic. We're looking for about 3 times, and seldom do we get it, we're looking about 3 times the area. It means that we want on the side of the machine about the space of the machine on either side if we can get it. And then whatever the length we can get, the more length the better. I hope that visually helps people understand how much laydown space we need. Okay.
Okay. This is kind of back to the, not the last question, but the one before. Why are mechanical setup issues more difficult to handle in the field versus in a workshop? Setup is similar at both locations.
Well, usually there's a big problem that occurs in either location. It is seldom now that in our workshop, and I'm sure it is with our competitors, that you have a major fit-up problem, a machining interface problem on large components. We don't have it very often, meaning that if we go to put the cutter head support together with the cutter head, it doesn't match up. It just rarely occurs. Why? Because we're all wise enough that we don't want it to occur because it costs us extra labor, but we check it big time, both whether it's OFTA or whether it's our own workshop. We just don't want it to occur. So, but if you're out in the middle of Indian desert and it's certainly a lot more problematic thing to occur out there than it is in downtown Cleveland, where we've got 25 workshops we can send these pieces to get and one of them open and get this machinery, this piece machined in a couple of days. And these big workshops, these big lathes that we need for trimming these big pieces, it's not easy to get on them. They're usually fairly full, and so you have to program your time into these big pieces. So if you've got a piece that is not fitted up properly or isn't fitted properly, it's very difficult to get on that lathe or on that piece and rework it. And so you will probably end up reworking the thing as you would in the field with some special tools, portable tools to do the rework. So it's really not that much different. If you got a problem in your workshop, it's a big problem too. You got a problem in OFTA on the site, also a big problem. Okay.
Next question. Is it up to the contractor to propose the OFTA option, or would the owner require it within the contract?
Well, that's a very good question because I'm a great proponent of 3 parties working together: the owner with his consultant, the contractor, and the machine manufacturer, and making such decisions as OFTA in a unified, well-informed forum. I think that the contractors and the consultants can leave that option open. It's a good idea if you're considering it. If you've got a tight schedule, the owner's got a tight schedule, then I would recommend that the consultants say we can accept the option if we're convinced it's going to save time, and then they invite us in to present. On our experience, we all together, all 3 of us, assess the risk. Okay, is this the right place for an OFTA, or is it not the right place for an OFTA? So my suggestion is that we kind of leave this option open. If it can help the project and help the schedule and help the cost on the project, it certainly would seem reasonable that should be considered.
Next question. What are the benefits to Robbins for using OFTA?
Well, it's actually not a benefit. I think we're taking on more risk, and we're making our workshops a bit obsolete. But I feel it's an obligation to the industry. It's just an obligation that we have to. If we can save project time and we can save project cost, then that's just an obligation of us as manufacturers to do that. If you look around in the world and you look at other industries like big cranes and even segment factories and all these things, they're not fully assembled. They go to site in pieces. So we're not unique and this is not a big revolutionary thing that Robbins is proposing. If you look around the industry, it's all over our industry with very similar components. It's kind of surprising that nobody has really pushed it as far as now. Okay.
Another question that kind of goes with that one: have other manufacturers adopted OFTA?
I think they will. I know there's some resistance just because of this problem of the workshop obsolescence, and I understand that. And I think they will start to because it's so logical. I can't see why the industry. Well, you can see if we've done 8 in the last couple of years on major TBMs, then obviously it's going to come. And I think the other manufacturers will start to realize that and start to prepare their teams to do it. Otherwise, they're at a time and cost disadvantage. But I don't want to encourage our competitors to do OFTA. I'd just rather be the only one, but that's up to them. Next question.
Are there any issues on following progress of an OFTA machine versus a shop assembled machine?
I think we addressed that one before. Look, in OFTA, when asked about OFTA assembly and shop assembly, I say to them, hey, from the time you start to bore, it's time you start to cut the face or enter into the slew walls or whatever it is, put in 2 or 3 extra weeks because we'll pick up some problems in the first boring period that we should have picked up as shop assembly. So we're not saying, hey, everything is put together and it's going to work 100% as well as if you did shop assembly. That isn't the case. We just say that, hey, if you evaluate the whole total picture, you're still a lot better off with OFTA. That's our position on this. And the more we do it, the better we are at our game, and I think the more benefits, total benefits, OFTA will bring. So, do you have some problems after you start up with an OFTA assembly that you wouldn't have had if you would shop assemble? I clearly answer yes. There'll be some problems that you got to deal with, but the offset of that is so great that hey, just accept that and be prepared and work together to sort out the problem. I think we're just about coming to the end of my period, but I'll take one more question.
One final question. Are there situations where OFTA is not appropriate?
I think so. I think that if you've got a real difficult shaft and small shaft, small starting chamber, and it's kind of a unique machine, I still recommend you go ahead and shop assembly because if you've got tight spaces, real tight spaces, then it's better to make sure everything fits well because you don't want to be hoisting on the back of the shaft. So yes, I still say there's places that I'd recommend that you do shop assembly. And also, I think smaller machines, the effect isn't as good as it is on big machines. Also, it makes more sense the bigger you get. In a real small machines, I'm talking down below 3 meters or even 5 machines, I still think you're better off to put everything together because on smaller machines, contrary to bigger machines, it's harder to fix things in small machines. There's just more room in your tunnels to do it. It's complicated to do. So I still recommend, and I don't foresee that we're going to have a lot of small machines being not shop assembled. We'll see that happening. But bigger machines, that's where it makes more sense. And with that, I thank everybody for joining me. We've been a very quiet and cooperative audience. Usually you don't have such a good audience as I have today. But I don't hear them at all. So thank you very much for listening, and I hope to see you again at a conference, or more than pleased to answer any direct questions sent to me.